battle royale in Congress as party stalwart and former Punjab Chief Minister Captain Amrinder Singh throws down the gauntlet against his betterneur and State Punjab PCC Chief Pratap Singh Bajwa. Captain Amrinder Singh belongs to the old guard of the Congress. He brings to the table personal charisma and grassroots clout that sets him apart other state party leaders. Apart from Amrinder, there are others like Veerbhadra Singh, Sheila Dikshit and even Tarun Gogoi who retain their utility and can swing state elections despite the clamour for generational change. They also bring a strong sense of connect, both with leaders and workers, that is missing from the Gen Next replacements. You've been in politics first, Lok Sabha in 1962. You know, you're a old war horse.
I had the honor to become, when I became MP for the first time in 1962. I was a young man of 25, 26. And I had the honor to be member of parliament when Nehru was there.
The people who have been with the Congress party for many years actually have also seen when the Congress party was down and really weak in the past as well. So we need the experience to fight back, and we need the experience and wisdom to guide us. It's for the young to go out and implement, but we definitely need everyone to be together. Priya, we're already 44. I don't think we need anyone to go, but we need more people to come in, to pitch in, to work.
Rahul Gandhi, in his attempts to build his own team, will have to find a balance between the old and the new. Anti-incumbency apart, these old war horses have proved that they still retain their utility. So in grooming the successors, Rahul will have to include them in the succession process and not work against them. Which is why how Rahul handles Captain Amrinder's revolt will be an indication of how he plans to rebuild the Congress party. Today we have with us the irrepressible Captain Amrinder Singh, former Congress Chief Minister of Punjab. He is also the MP from Amritsar and still remains even today the face of the Congress in Punjab. For he has proved that while the party may be down, he is never out. Welcome to NewsX, Captain.
Thank you.
And to begin with, you've been creating a lot of headlines even though you're far away from Delhi.
What sort of headlines?
Well, first of all, you had Amit Shah cancelling his rally. The BJP president was, if I'm not wrong, correct me, was planning to hold a rally in Amritsar, but I think soon after he heard that you were also going to take him on, that rally has been mysteriously cancelled.
Well, they've given an excuse that the Delhi elections are on. Well, they knew the Delhi elections were on even 10 days ago. So it was only after we announced, it's not Amrinder Singh's rally, it's the Congress party's rally really. Though it's
You're saying that with a straight face?
In my constituency. So therefore I said that it's my job to take it on and to organize the whole thing. And all my colleagues who were here the other day in Patiala, it was a unanimous decision of everyone. MLAs, ex-MLAs, ex-ministers, ministers, everybody, and district presidents, and all. We had nearly 200.
One name is missing, the PCC president.
Oh, I never invited him. Because I said this is a meeting of my friends and my colleagues, and so I never invited him.
So he's not a friend, he's not a colleague. What is he then?
Well, when you invite a person to your home, you invite friends to your home.
Okay, so he's not a friend, we made that clear. But the rally on the 22nd, would that be a DPC Punjab Pradesh Congress show? Would it be Amrinder show?
No, it can't be. It's my constituency.
So it's Amrinder Singh show?
It's Amrinder Singh show, and not only that, I think as they go to other districts, there will be their MLAs, their MPs who will be holding the shows there, and I will be going for that also. And this, of course, it was announced because of not because of Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah. Though Amit Shah happened to be coming, it's going to be a continuous process, and I will be going for that also. And this, of course, it was announced because of not because of Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah. Though Amit Shah happened to be coming, it's going to be a continuous process for us. It starts with Amritsar, then it will go to some other district, and we'll keep moving around till we get our party up again and ready to fight the 2017.
Look at this. You have a dinner on Sunday, where you invite everybody except the Punjab Congress chief. You're having a rally where he's not invited. Surely you're sending a very strong message.
No, I sent this message. I'm not sending a message now. Look, I have been in politics 47 years.
Right.
I have always seen the system in which the government of the power of the day always goes down. It happens. In Punjab, I suppose it happens elsewhere too, but I'm talking of Punjab specific. And the opposition, which has been down, starts moving upwards. Here it's the first time that both the government and the opposition is going downhill. I mean, it's never heard of that before. What does that mean? That means that the current leadership of the PCC is unable to get into the people and convince the people of the right things. And therefore, if that is the situation, then I think that the person who's running the show should go and somebody else should come. He's been given a chance, and you always start off with a level playing field, and then you from that level playing field start moving upwards, not downwards. And this is happening that way.
So you're asking for Bajwa to go? That's
Of course, I'm not asking for him to go now. I asked that he should not be made. So that is 2 years ago. And I gave my reasons to the Congress president why he should not be made. But they made him. And I think my reasons which were given to them
What were the reasons?
have worked out. No, I'm not going to discuss those on television. But certainly I gave my reasons, and I think they now do understand that what I was saying is proving to be true.
Did this come up in your meeting with the Congress president that you had recently?
Not this. This is what I'm saying, that day was a complete jugglery of your editing. Because when I went in, why did I go in? I went in because I hadn't been, when I went to Dubai, the Congress president was in hospital. So when I came back, I went to ask after her health. And when I came out, I told them this, what I just said to you. And then somebody asked me, but you want the Congress, the PCC president to be removed. I said, no, I've been asking that he shouldn't be made in the first place, and he's proved my point. But they suddenly said, ye kya ke aaya hai Congress president ko. Maine Congress president se baat hi nahi ki. This is what I've been saying from 2 years. And I've said it not on one occasion, on umpteens of occasions, both to the Congress president and vice president, but not that specific day.
Okay, Bajwa should go. Who should come in? Is Amrinder Singh in the race?
Who the CP wants, she must take the call on this. She must, I'm sure she must be doing her exercise on it also.
Are you keen to become the new PCC?
Well, it's up to her to, she has to find a person who she feels can take the party from that point up again. And that is for her to decide. And she must be doing, she has a ways of finding out, and she must be finding out.
But do you see anybody else apart from you?
Yes, of course, we have people. The Congress party is not in any way devoid of any ability. It's a question of the right man at the right place, at the right time. Churchill, I was saying earlier, was the right man at the right time when the war started. But after it went, then the people chose Attlee for reconstruction of Britain. So the same is the case. You're the right man at the right time, and he's not the right man at the right time.
Okay, are you the right man?
No, it's not for me to say that. That's for the people of Punjab. It's for the party and all to say, here in Punjab to say that. And then a decision for the Congress president.
But where is your heart? Is your heart in Delhi? Because
never in Delhi, always in Punjab. And that's what I told the Congress president when I was going in for the elections, when she asked me. She called me, she asked me, she wanted me to fight Amritsar. I said, no ma'am, I'm not, that's not my cup of tea. I've been in Parliament before, from 80 to 84, and I've been 5 terms in the Punjab Assembly, and I like state politics better than that. I feel I can contribute more. There you are contributing for the country. Here you are contributing for your state. It makes a difference. It doesn't mean I don't want to contribute for the country. But I feel that Punjab is going down so fast that if we don't do something to stop it, we will have one whole generation gone in drugs. There will be no jobs available for them. There will be no industry available here. Agriculture is gone. There's no power. So we are in a mess, and I thought I could do that more. So I told her I would much prefer to be in Punjab. Then she told me that, all right, let me give it a thought. But then when she insisted later on, I thought, well, my president is insisting. Then I'll say, okay. But I told her then also that my interests are here. So she said, first you come and win the seat, and then we'll talk about these things. So that's how it is.
So wasn't there a dichotomy at a time when the Congress didn't do well, you did well? So your charisma is more than the party. I mean, shouldn't it be all working in one unison?
No, it's not. Well, I don't know. I think somehow the other things did work out well. Aam Aadmi Party, which does the damage, didn't do us that much damage. We lost about, I think, 40, 50,000, I can't remember now the seats to them, the votes to them. But in a state like Patiala, 3.10 lakhs, 3,10,000 votes went to the Aam Aadmi Party. Ambika lost just marginally because 2 lakh something went to the Aam Aadmi Party. That was a new phenomenon. That shows, how Punjab functions. First you bring Manpreet Badal. They found he was no good, then they dumped him. Then they picked up Aam Aadmi Party. They found them no good. I think they'll dump them now. So now's the time that Mr. Amit Shah is trying to get aside to try and create a force of his own, a BJP-led force, thinking that Punjab will jump towards him. But it's not going to be that easy. Because for 9 years he has been part of this government and he still is part of this government. That is why I opposed him there. Not that I was opposing him because he was opposing drugs. I was opposing him because here you are sitting in government with them. And there you want to go and portray that you are a great savior of Punjab, of India and you are a great anti-drug man. And here in Delhi you are fighting elections jointly with them. This is all trying to fool the people.
Do you see this alliance working, or we are hearing that there will be a breakup soon of the BJP? SAD.
But whether they stay or they break up means no difference to us, because they're all, as far as the people of Punjab are concerned, they are one party. But they've been as corrupt, they've been as incompetent, and the Punjab mess that it is, they are as much responsible for this. 3 of the ministers were sacked for corruption. BJP I'm talking about. Well,
you also had Pawan Bansal to handle. You had your own corruption cases.
Pawan Bansal, here the cases are still on. So that's not a point of, I'm talking about Punjab Assembly at the moment. Pawan Bansal is not Punjab Assembly.
But congressman from Punjab.
Well, there I think the whole situation was, well, let me say it, creation of your media.
You're blaming us for Pawan Bansal? No way.
Why? Every day you were blasting the government of this
with
scam
good
and
reason.
That scam and the other scam and the third scam.
But with good reason.
You don't give a chance to those people who are being accused to defend themselves, but you've proven them guilty before they have been proven guilty. And that is what your trial by media which has been going on. You tell me one thing. Why should any government, anybody comes, whether it's a chief minister or a minister of the centre, take a decision? Nobody will take a decision. Because the moment they take a decision, before even examining it properly, suddenly it comes out, big scam here, big scam there. That's going on. You're killing the type of administration that should be in this country, and decisions should be taken.
So the policy paralysis is because of us?
No, because I think you're not being fair enough, and you're prejudging people.
But tell me something, a lot of people saying that the Congress lost, we have Manish Tiwari saying there was a credibility problem, other people, Digvijay Singh saying communication problem. That 2014 or 12 loss, how do you see it? 14 loss?
It was a question of, as I said, the Congress was pronounced guilty before they were proven guilty by you people.
Supreme Court was also saying, we were echoing what the court was.
The Supreme Court is saying on one thing, but you made umpteen of things. And then once it's dumped in, this party is guilty. Then a vote. Now, the question is this, that, I sometimes wonder that if one has to come into government, what decision will you take? Because every decision you take, the next government that comes in will challenge, will crucify you. I mean, how does government work? I'm facing 2 cases here for something which happened 10 years ago. For what? For nothing. For a decision where I said, I have seen the file.
Is politics more vengeful at the state level than at the centre? Do you see? Because, when the Badals come, there's a case against you. When you come, there's a case against them. Similarly, Mulayam, Mayawati, DMK, Jayalalitha.
Not vengeful, I wouldn't say. But I think the entire politics should be more responsible in this. Otherwise, governance will stop.
This issue of drugs, do you see that being a big menace for the...
Absolutely. I think it's going to be the main issue. Here, drugs की problem ये है. एक तो आती है from the Golden Triangle. Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. That is the route that is followed. And मुझे ये भी है शक आज, पारिकर जो मर्जी कहे, मुझे लगता है कि ये जो आए हैं, ये जो बोट पकड़ी है अभी गुजरात के पास जिसको आग लगी है, 100% that's a new drug route. मुझे लग रहा है क्योंकि यहाँ BSF and all are doing a good job and the army is blocked off this area. So they are finding new routes each time. कभी नेपाल से आ जाते थे, कहीं से आ जाते थे. और ये मुझे लग रहा है, so I don't believe this terrorist theory at all. मैं तो पहले दिन ही कह दिया था, this looks to me to be a drug racket. देखिए, terror boat होती, with the object was explosives. Did any explosive go off in that boat? वो तो simmer हो करके उसको आग लगी थी. अगर explosives होते on board, the whole thing would have blown sky high.
Is the BJP trying to distance itself from the Akali Dal by questioning Majidhya? What do you make of that?
They are 100% trying to do this. They are trying to get out of it to show that they are out of not part of this drug business. But how can you get out? This is your 9th year, you are still with them. You're still in the government, which you are accusing of corruption, accusing of drugs. By walking out today, you're not going to get scot-free on that. We are all sitting there to tell the people they were very much part of the whole system.
Well, you're sitting here, you're not sitting in Delhi. We didn't see you during the winter session.
No, I didn't come during the winter session, and that was with the permission of the Congress president, because my mother was not well, and she was in a critical position. So I told her, and she said, no, you go and look after your mother. So that is how it all came about. But I don't like sharing personal things with the whole world. And therefore, people have been assuming various things. Amrinder Singh setting up a new party, going down the BJP. The only thing you haven't made me join is the lady in Madras, or the lady in Bengal, or the CPI or the CPM. ये चार ही रह गए ना, बाकी तो सब में मुझे जोड़ दिया उसमें. So that's what seems to be happening. But it's unfortunate that, just accept us for what we are. 47 years I have served my country through the political system. This is my 8th election. Surely if I am not there, there must be a reason. And that reason, my Congress president, my leader of the House, will ask me, and I've told them. And that should be accepted by people. Don't just start pointing fingers without knowing anything, which these people are doing.
But do you feel a bit handicapped?
Forget about them. Mr. Bajwa is doing it. Amrinder Singh didn't attend the function.
Your own party?
My own, yeah. I mean, so the point is he doesn't know why, but he has to say it.
Well, that's why you didn't call him for lunch. But within the Lok Sabha, do you feel handicapped? Just 44 of you, how does it work?
No, not really. I've been in a minority situation we've been before. I wasn't elected then. But in fact, I lost my seat then. That's at the time of when was this election? 1977, when we were all wiped out. Indraji lost her seat. Sanjay lost his seat. I think in the whole of northern India, only Dr. Karan Singh ji won his seat from Udhampur. We all lost our seats on that family planning business. So you see how powerful your media is. These things happen and it just spreads and just wipes everybody out.
That is also our fault.
No, it's not your fault. That is not your fault. But that was I think a wrong thing had happened. But then immediately, because of the uncertainty in the polity of the country, this has happened in 77. By 80, we were back in 3 years, again with a majority. Yeah,
all of you are looking at 77 thinking, it's not so bad, we can come back. Do you think so? Because, at that time you had a weak opposition.
Because that time your television wasn't that powerful. Today your television is very powerful.
And you say that we are bringing
You go along the Hindustan-Tibet road, you'll see the workers working on the road. Have got their little shacks which they move around with. Everyone has a little dish on top. And that's you are today going into every home of this country. And when you start saying something, that Amrinder Singh is a big cad and he's a useless fellow and he's this and that and the other, I can probably approach 100 people or 200 people or 500 people in meetings or 1,000 people, but you've already covered the whole country. So I'm already a cad in the country. That's
how
what I'm
do you, hope to overcome the negative image of the Congress?
I think I really feel and I hope that the media itself responds in a more responsible manner for this sort of thing.
But we'll respond, but your leadership doesn't come and talk to us. We have no one from the Congress coming and talking.
I think the problem is there are too many channels and you have no news, so you create
problem
news.
Of plenty.
That's what I think.
But no, you just look at it, we haven't had, after the defeat, we haven't had your leadership come and talk to us. They've just come and said, we accept responsibility and gone back. Nobody has interacted.
You are having every day.
And on the other hand, you have a man who tweets, who gives a speech a day. How do you hope to compete?
Well, we have our AICC session. Every day we have a briefing session for the press.
But lightweights come, very lightweights, at least have credible leaders giving a briefing. People say that you don't cover us. We won't cover if you have a lightweight spokesperson. If a big leader comes and talks, it's all about faces at the end of the day.
Well, I think senior people have come. Manish has been there. He's been our Minister of Information and Broadcasting.
Manish is being sidelined by Ajay Makhan, as you well know.
Digvijay Singh ji, who's already...
If a big leader comes and talks, it's all about faces at the end of the day.
Well, I think senior people have come. Manish has been there. He's been our Minister of Information and Broadcasting.
Manish is being sidelined by Ajay Makhan, as you well know.
Digvijay Singh ji, who's already comes in on television.
Digvijay is one of the few who comes. Otherwise,
they're all. I don't think people are shying away from television at all. or speaking to you.
What about the Congress specifically? There's been talks about, Rahul Gandhi should take a more forceful role. People are saying working president.
Yes, somebody
saying he should start working finally.
No, look, he's vice president. He works very hard. Let's be clear
I'll
about
take
this.
your word for it. We haven't seen.
I think his perception is not what it is. What people perceive him to be is not what it is. He works hard. I've seen that. And if they want him to be working president of the party, that of course the party must take a call on that. And I'm sure the party will, whenever this issue does come up. And that of course depends on the Congress president. And of course then the working committee will look at it, and then of course it will go to the AICC and all to see.
But do you think it's time that he steps forward, or Mrs. Gandhi has more of an emotional connect with the people, with the party workers?
Of course Mrs. Gandhi has. I have the utmost respect for her. She's one lady who's I can say that her knowledge of this. I'll tell you my own experience. When I joined the Congress, when she came to the Congress, that was in 97, 98 from the Akali Dal. And at that stage, when she made me her president then in 98, she would talk about what should we do in Jalandhar, and all. I'd tell her make A, B or C or D over there, and she would go by my saying. Next time when the time came to make it, and she would ask me, what about that chap in Jalandhar? What about that fellow in Ludhiana? That fellow, why isn't he better than him? He's done this, he's done that. So her knowledge of, in 4 years and 5 years, she picked up tremendously. And that I'm talking of Punjab. But she's run the whole country, so the same situation must be elsewhere too. And I think I have utmost respect for that, and for her, the effort she has put into
That's it. We see the effort she's put in. We don't see the effort Rahul has put in. That's the problem.
When I, 47 years ago, joined politics, I wasn't born, what should I say, Roosevelt or Stalin or some sort of.
But you became Captain Amrinder Singh. This Rahul is still.
I became that over a period of time. He's only been in it a couple of years.
Couple of years, 1 decade is a long time.
Give him a chance at least. And he's building his own team, and let him do it. He's a young man. He's a very bright young man, and I'm sure he will come up.
I'll take your word for that. But building his own team. You look at Himachal Pradesh, stalwart like Veerbhadra Singh. They tried to dislodge him. It didn't happen. Over here, you are proving, you have more followers than Bajwa. Whether it's Delhi, Sheila Dikshit is a better name than Ajay Makhan. So this team, Rahul or whatever we call it, is not really working, or the second generational.
Well, there I agree with you to some extent, that this business of feeling that the older lot should be put down and the younger lot should come up, I don't agree with that. I think you should have a balanced team. The older lot are there, and let them carry on. Padal is 93 years old, he's still plodding along. Not that we are saying that we should be there at 93, but the fact is, he's going to dispute that because he thinks he's 85, and he grows 1 year every 3 years. So that's the way Badal is. But my point is that you had a Prime Minister who's been plus 90, Mr. Morarji Desai. So you don't just think that, there's a cut-off age for politics, and after that everyone should retire and everyone should carry on. I think we should all work as a team. And I'm sure he will go by that. And I was one of them who went to Mrs. Gandhi and told her that 1/3 of Himachal is ex-Patiala state. I said, I keep interacting with people there. You must make Veerbhadra Singh there, otherwise you will have a difficult time.
They went
No, because everyone has a chance now. I don't know how old Veerbhadra Singh ji is. Anand will have his time. Everyone will have their times. But then you have to prove it. That's as I say, that once you're given a chance, but then you must prove yourself.
So what is your recipe for a Congress revival as an individual level? What do you think needs to be done?
I don't think there's a difficulty in Punjab. I don't really visualize any difficulty in Punjab. I think one is, of course, a negative vote. Because this government, whether it's BJP and Akali combined, have totally pushed the state into the ground. Secondly, I think today people are looking at the Congress once again. We are, as people are today saying, that we are a secular party, and this country is full of so many communities. This is a debate also going on.
But you've lost every election in the last 6 months. The Congress, Maharashtra, Haryana.
That happens. When you're in, the hopes and aspirations of the people are tremendous. And if you are in there and you can't perform, and you don't give them what they want, and they'll say, that chap may give us what we want. No country, in no state can any party deliver? Because the hopes are too many and our people are too many. Now this absurd thing of BJP saying 4 children should be born to everything. We are here on one for the last 40 years we've been trying to say restrict your families, cut the population.
Where did that get to? You lost that election.
No, I know, but the fact is it's talking sense. It's pro-country. Today we are saying the same things. All this development that was going on has been negated because of all these scams which everyone seems to pull out from under the rug every few days. I mean, and how many of those people who have been crucified by this, by your communicating it to the whole country, and what happens to them when they are exonerated by the court? Who takes the blame for that? After rubbing them into the ground for 20 years? You know, these are all the things that matter.
Name somebody like that.
No, I can't name somebody, but you know, there's so many cases in the country and involving all parties. And I think that is bad for the country.
Okay. And finally, last question, we have, elections in Delhi round the corner, and a fledgling party like Aam Aadmi Party has taken over the role of from the Congress, this between Aam Aadmi and BJP. Are you disheartened by this?
No, I don't think Aam Aadmi is a serious threat to us. I don't believe that.
Not even in Delhi?
I'm not talking about Delhi election, I'm talking about the nation as a whole. And Delhi is just a little pinprick of area in the whole of the Indian.
But it's the capital,
state.
so there is a symbolic value.
Yes, but you will also see that people have seen through them, and you will see that this time they will not be able to. I mean, you have elections here in Punjab today. Aam Aadmi won't pull anything. They will be totally. This is how things are thrown up. They've juggled them. Last time they brought out an Aam Aadmi chief minister. What did he do? Slept under his car in the middle of the thing, and then he thinks that is a great gimmickry which he's doing. What is that? Was he being elected to sleep out on the road or to run the state? So these gimmicks don't work, and I think this is going to again be proven in Delhi.
Well, gimmicks don't work. You heard it here from Captain Amrinder Singh, who is very confident that he is on a comeback trail. But that's all from us for now. Thank you for watching this show.